Over the weekend, President Yoweri Museveni appointed Justice Jane Frances Abodo as principal judge, replacing Justice Flavia Nzeija, who was earlier appointed Deputy Chief Justice. Justice Abodo, who is serving as the Director of Public Prosecutions, has appeared before the Parliamentary Appointments Committee for vetting, which was held in camera.
So it is important that Parliament today has vetted the nominee for that office, and we think that the judiciary and the public should be eagerly waiting for that office to be filled, because as an administrative head, a principal judge handles many things.
Speaking to members of the committee after the vetting, legislators cited the heavy responsibility awaiting Justice Abodo, especially in curbing case backlog.
There are many cases that are unattended to in the courts. Some cases will last for about 15 years, 20 years. So the new principal judge has a duty to work obviously with the other leaders of the judiciary to ensure that they come up with the effective case backlog management processes.
If you can have so many RDCs and then you appoint deputy RDCs, and of recent we added assistant deputy RDCs or that kind of thing, why don't you appoint more judges? Why don't you avail that to them so that they don't have an excuse? Let's take justice to be a serious matter.
However, Leader of Opposition Joel Senyonyi was concerned over the cases stuck in the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
My challenge has been, especially towards the end of her term as the Director of Public Prosecutions, there's been issues there, Irene. The Supreme Court on 31st January of this year delivered a ruling saying civilians should not be tried in military courts, and actually ordered that all pending cases before military courts should be transferred to civilian courts. Up to now, that has not happened. The outgoing DPP seems to also be throwing the ball elsewhere, saying, well, they're meant to carry out investigations and so on, but the duty to charge is yours. So I think that in that regard, she has failed these people who have been trying to seek justice, because now they belong nowhere.
Committee members also raised concerns over how some courts deny bail to accused persons, despite the constitutional principle of presumed innocence. They called for clear and fair bail guidelines to uphold justice for all.
We are concerned at the way some of the judicial officers are handling matters related to bail application. First of all, an application for bail should be the simplest of applications. To appeal as a legal practitioner myself to the Chief Justice, the Deputy Chief Justice, and now the Principal Judge, to ensure that bail guidelines are streamlined and structured in such a manner that the constitutional presumption of innocence is maintained and preserved by those bail guidelines and regulations.
In two recent rulings, Yasin Sechitoreko, also known as Machete, versus the state, and another, Anthony Agaba, also known as Bobby Young, versus the state, they've been trying to seek bail. Very recent rulings, and court said, no, we cannot grant you bail because you are not yet legally before us as the High Court. Your files have not been transferred from the military courts to the civilian courts, and so they remain in abeyance, and that would even mean they are being held in prison illegally.
When approached for a comment after her vetting, newly appointed Principal Judge Justice Jane Frances Abodo had this to say.
The interaction was okay. The interaction. No. I have not yet got the job. I have not yet got the job. I don't know the results from the committee. So let's wait for that. After we do that, then we can, because they might say no. Then I've already told you the task ahead of me. That would be really premature.
Lady Justice Jane Kajuga was formerly acting Principal Judge. Rebecca Nantongo, Gloria Gutabinji, Parliament.